Hi everyone, welcome to Lawless the Bunker. Join us as we hide away from the plague and catch up with some of our amazing creators who've worked with us over the years at Lawless. We decided we ought to invite a few people into the bunker for a bit of a catch up, so this evening we're very pleased to welcome David Millgate. Hi David, how you doing?
Hi Sue, yeah I'm good thanks, nice to be here, thank you.
That's okay. No, it's good to have you along. It's good to catch up with everybody, actually, that we haven't seen in the last sort of 12 to 18 months. It's been a bit of a quiet one, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that. I'm getting more used to just, talking to people via devices rather than in reality, if you know what I mean.
Oddly enough, I got more used to that through my day job than I did socialising like outside work, which was really strange because we got Microsoft Teams and everything. So yeah, you quickly had to get used to being on a webcam at 8:30 in the morning and looking awake. So yeah, tell us what happened with you at the start of lockdown and how did it affect you? Was it a big change or how did it affect your family and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, it crept up on everyone a little bit by surprise. Well, this didn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I sometimes do some shifts at my local theatre, and I help out down there. You know, I like to be involved in all kinds of different, areas of the arts, not just drawing and painting, but also music, and also, like I say, working in a theatre.
So are you doing acting or behind the scenes stuff?
No, I'm behind the scenes. I'm front of house. I deal with the public and, that side of it, which is great.
Excellent.
I've got a lot of friends that I work with there who, I've known for quite a long time. And that's kind of where I first became aware of what was happening with COVID. Because theatre, when we have thousands of people coming in there every day on a regular basis, so they have to be really ahead where it comes to things like public safety and health and safety and all those kind of things. So
yeah,
I became aware of it from that, really, a little bit maybe before other people might have done. But even so, I wasn't really prepared for the way it was going to go. I thought maybe we might be off work for a couple of weeks and then we'll be back, but
we'll just ease off. And it just,
how wrong was I?
Yeah, no, it definitely did seem to suddenly keep going and then keep going some more, and then it got annoying. It was just like, I want to do is go to the shop and not have to queue for 40 minutes.
I know, and I don't know how you felt, Sue, but I really went through like various kind of stages with it, of like shock, disbelief, and then anger and resentment.
It's sort of 7 stages of grief.
yeah, it was quite a journey.
Mine was weird
because now than I was at the start, but let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, mine was weird because I was due to go to Cambodia.
Really?
Because me and Mum were due to go on holiday for like a 3-week holiday to do Vietnam, Cambodia and Thailand. It was my birthday trip out with my mum for 3 weeks. 4 hours before we were due to fly out, the whole thing got cancelled.
What a shame.
Yeah, it was insane. I had the week off, and that week lockdown hit, and then after that it was a mad dash to get all the computers and PCs home and carry on working from home, and then been there ever since.
I guess like everyone, you have to sort of start to sort of like do things in a slightly different way to how you were doing them, and you just have to be able to adapt to it. And I've managed to do that some days better than others.
Yeah. Did you how did it affect your work and doing your art and everything? Did it sort of kill off anything for the first 6 months and then it started to pick up again, or how did it go?
No, I was lucky in that respect. I just carried on as before. Only I was allowed more hours at my desk because I couldn't really do much else.
Yeah.
Because obviously, as you know, I play drums in a band as well, so that used to take up quite a substantial amount of my time rehearsing and doing those kind of things and with the band and writing songs and that. So and also doing the theatre work, but obviously all those things stopped just instantly pretty much. And so then I was kind of stuck, really no excuse not to go to my drawing board.
Now I better paint, really, hadn't I?
Do some artwork. Yeah, so I managed to get quite a lot of work done.
Excellent.
Which was good, and it kept me sane, I think, doing that, because I'm happy when I'm working. I just stick the radio on and kind of go into what I call the zone, and just kind of I can sit there all day painting, and the day just flies by, and I'm quite happy. So I've been lucky. There's a lot of people out there had it far worse than I have, I don't know anybody that's been severely ill with it or passed away, so I count myself among the lucky ones. I'm not going to stop complaining about it, you know.
No, there definitely could be worse things out there, definitely. Did you were you working on any projects at the time for anybody then, art wise?
Yeah, I've been working for a while now, over 2 years as it happens, on a project for a heavy metal band in New York.
Oh, right.
More specifically, they call themselves cinematic metal. And
Okay.
they're doing like at the moment working on a new album. It's a concept album, and I kind of got involved with that quite early on.
Yeah.
It's kind of a multimedia project, the way they're approaching it. It's not just like there's a record and a band and they just do some gigs. There is that side to it, obviously, but they're also doing an audio book because it's based on Dante's Inferno, classic literature. So it's kind of really deep stuff that they're doing. And
kind of Gorillaz started off doing that, didn't they? That's how the Gorillaz, that they had a whole kind of story behind the band when they started out. It wasn't just the music, there was the characters and the band and the art and everything else that went with it, wasn't there?
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a unique thing they're doing. They're mixing the album at the moment. I heard one of the mixes with some vocals on today that I'd not heard previously, which was fantastic. Cool. But they're also doing, like, with the record release, there'll be like an art book.
Okay, yeah.
I've actually got some of those here if you're interested.
Oh, yeah. Are we allowed a sneak preview?
Yeah, I don't know how well they'll come across on the computer, but we can give it a go, eh?
Yeah, go for it. Let's have a look. Sneak preview of art coming on here, folks.
Yeah. I've got the album cover here, which I just finished painting about a week ago.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Get in the light so you can see it.
So is that acrylic, or what medium do you work in?
Yeah, this is all acrylic.
Amazing.
It's a little difficult to see, but with it being so dark.
No, it's
young Dante at the bottom as a sort of Hitler Youth, because although it's based on Dante's Inferno, it's like a modern version of it.
Yeah.
So he's like a Hitler Youth in this picture, and these 9 children that surrounding him. Each one of these 9 children represents the 9 levels of hell in Dante's Inferno. And they're all wearing different masks, if you can see that. I'll bring it a bit nearer. Oh, it's just going dark.
That's all right, no.
But yeah, each one of these represents one of his own sins. So it's kind of like these children are kind of out of his psyche, if you understand. And then in the tree in the background, we've got evil personified coming through the bark. There's like a face coming out of the tree. Don't know if you can see that. But
no, anyway, I can see that. That looks awesome. Amazing.
So there we go.
Fair play. So
I've been doing that, and that's keeping me busy.
I bet it is, yeah. So when's the album release and things like that? When's that due to?
I think it's going to be hopefully later this year. If everything goes to plan, obviously, you know, a lot of things still depend on how the COVID situation pans out, and it's the same in New York where he lives. So yeah, a lot of it depends on that. But yeah, it's going really well. I'm doing 9 really big paintings that are actually like A1 size.
Oh wow!
I've got those here as well. But you want to see one of those?
Go on then. Listen, can't always miss art.
Yeah. So I've done 9 like this big.
Wow.
And this one I believe is for the level of hell that's lust.
Yeah.
So you've got like a kind of a demonic arachno demon kind of spider woman thing.
Nice.
And then dotted around in some of the other areas, you've got lots of spider kind of references going on. And then there's like an evil cherub down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
And there's another spider demon. You see the spider female character's got like 6 eyes.
Amazing. Is that a print or is that the original?
That's the original artwork, yeah.
Amazing.
So I've done 9 like this, each one at the levels of hell, and they'll be in the book that's coming out with the record, you know.
That's really cool. How did you get involved in doing that with the band then? Did you know the band or did they get in touch with you?
I was in a blues band for a number of years, and one of the guys was always on Twitter trying to generate interest and getting gigs arranged and doing recordings, that kind of thing, and reaching out to people. And Ken, who's the guy in New York I was talking about, he contacted him. They started up a kind of conversation on Twitter, and Ken said, "Oh, I'm doing this thing based on Dante's Inferno. The band's called Homerick, which comes from the Greek, obviously." And did he know anyone that maybe was good at art? I think that's how it came about. So we had like a mutual friend, and he mentioned me. He said, "Oh, you want to speak to Max Millgate?" And So yeah, we kind of hit it off really from day one soon.
That's really cool.
Brilliant, and it's been a fabulous kind of like job for me. I get to do all the kind of stuff I really enjoy, drawing and painting.
Excellent.
And,
excellent.
Yeah, so fingers crossed it'll be out later this year. So
I'll keep an eye out for that.
And the album's called The Circle of Dead Children.
Send us some links later. I'll make sure we post them up on the old Lawless page so then everyone can connect up as well. Bit of bonus marketing there.
So that's kept me busy. In answer to your question, you know, that's what I've been
doing. Yeah, that's what you've been doing. Yeah,
I've still got quite a lot more work to do as it happens.
Excellent.
I don't know if you've ever read Dante, but it's in 3 parts.
Right.
You get, you get the Inferno, and then you get the Purgatory, is it? And then you get, Paradise, which is a 3rd part. And he's intending to do a record for each one of these. So I've got a lot more painting to do.
I was going to say, you get sorted now for life, really, aren't you?
Yeah,
it's amazing what networking does. Like just even in any community, once you've got to know people who know people who know people, you can get so much out of it. Even if it's not work, even if it's just getting to know, a fellow drummer like yourself and stuff like that. It's like it's amazing how networking. So have you done any comic stuff? Like you've done a couple of 2000 AD or covers, haven't you, recently, or in the last year or so? I thought,
as well as the work I just showed you, I did a Dread around about Christmas or just after.
Yeah,
I've got that one here.
That's a good Dread. Proper grumpy face.
So he's just kind of turning and really staring at you,
Yeah.
That's the vibe. I just wanted to get like a really good staring.
Yeah.
And I call this one, if looks could kill. I think that pretty much sums out.
Loving that. That's awesome.
As far as I'm aware, it's not been published yet. At least I've seen it. So I'm still waiting to see what they do with that, if anything. But yeah.
Oh, I see. So when you get the request to do a cover, you don't know what story it's going to go with. It's just.
Well, I didn't actually get a request to do a cover. I just did that one off my own back, and I thought, I'll send this one in and chance my arm. And he liked it and said, "Yeah, I love that." So I don't actually know at the moment what his plans are in terms of how he's going to use it, whether it be a cover or maybe one of those
one-off piece or something.
Yeah, but it's all good,
Excellent.
And as well as that, I've been doing some comic stuff of my own. I've a couple of projects of my own that I've been doing for a while, which I kind of do. Obviously, when you're doing paid work, that tends to take priority. Whenever I sit there drawing my own stuff, I'm like, oh, I'm not really getting paid for this. I feel guilty.
I'm actually spending on my own time. What's going on? I shouldn't be doing this.
For a while, and I just kind of, when the mood takes me, I'll do that. So I'm working on post-apocalypse stories. I'm doing kind of like little short 8-page comic strips.
Yeah.
I've written the scripts for previously, a couple of years back. And so I'm doing almost like, when you get like a movie teaser trailer and you just get a little kind of taste of what it could be. These 8-page stories are kind of my take on that, really. So they could be expanded into, bigger stories, maybe. If anything.
Excellent.
That's
It'd be good to, might be worth sending off to some of the small press that have got really popular recently, like the 77s and stuff are all doing stuff like that at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, totally. I've seen a lot of their, posts online and things, and they're doing some great stuff. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, no, it's suddenly... It's kind of blown up in the last 12 months. I see a lot of Kickstarters for a lot of the small press, everything from kind of Commando to Blazer and all the new stuff that seems to be cropping up. The Kickstarter way of producing things seems to be really, really well received and a good way of producing content, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. So have you been working with any other creators at all? Any other writers or anybody? Or
not really, not at the moment, actually. I tend to, I do think of myself as an artist first and foremost. I've written a couple of things myself. I wouldn't go as far to say that I'm a writer, but yeah, I did publish I had a graphic novel of mine published by IDW a few years back.
Oh, wow.
Which I wrote the script for and did all the art and everything and was kind of wearing all the hats. But it took me kind of 7 years from start to finish.
It's a long old slog, yeah. It's a big commitment.
It's all, I'm spending a decade on this, and then it only sold.
You're bored of it now.
Yeah, well, it didn't sell particularly great, and you think, well, I did what I wanted to do with it and said what I wanted to say and enjoyed the process. But 7 years is a long time, so yeah. I mean, if a writer came along with an idea and pitched it to me and I liked it, I would certainly like to work with writers again, like I've done in the past, because collaboration. I do enjoy collaborating. It does sound like I'm one of these people who just wants to do my own thing and sit in a room on my own. That's not the case. I do like working with other people.
One for our audience there. Any writers out there who've got some scripts, Millgate's after you, after some collaboration. So we'll see if anyone's...
like to keep an open mind when it comes to
definitely.
And what possibilities and opportunities that might not come my way. I like to sort of you never know what's just around the corner, do you?
No, it's always keep things on the conveyor belt, really.
Yeah.
So back to lockdown things. Everyone was learning new passions for baking sourdough and things like that. So did you pick up any new skills or is there anything else any new hobbies that you decided to suddenly was the best thing ever that you needed to learn, other than drumming, obviously?
I miss the drumming because I've not done that literally for a year now because I can't.
How come?
I don't have room in this house for a drum kit.
Oh no.
And it's not just me living here, so I have to think of the other people and my neighbours as well. So I practice.
God, splash out on an electric. You can splash out on an electric kit. You can get away with it.
I must admit, I have been looking at a few of those online and thinking, oh, one day, So I do kind of miss the music, but I've not got so bad and depressed that I've started baking banana bread yet. So I'm obviously doing okay.
You're doing okay.
Like biscuits.
Oh, biscuits are always good. Can't go wrong with biscuits. You don't randomly take up embroidery or anything.
No. But I like cycling. I like to keep fit. I go running, and partly it's been good during lockdown to sort of go out early in the morning.
And get some fresh air.
And get a bit of fresh air and some exercise. And that's my kind of quality me time where I can kind of get some of my best ideas when I'm out jogging or whatever, and suddenly come up with concepts and things.
I've never been a runner, but I do like a good walk. I can't go wrong with a bit of a stomp around the woods, and it's definitely good thinking time.
Yeah.
Definitely. Although I keep bumping it, we've got woods out the back of where I live, and it's just full of dog walkers. So you go for a stomp to get away from everybody, and you're just avoiding dog walkers left, right, and centre.
Yeah, I quite often get chased by dogs that are off the lead. And I've been bitten a bunch of times, it has to be said.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah, and
just
obviously
dogs going mad.
The owner usually says, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "Well, keep it on a lead."
Yeah.
Obviously, once the dog's off and running, you can't catch it. I mean,
No, they get proper excited.
I try to outrun these Alsatians, and it makes.
You said you were a runner.
It triggers that sort of hunting instinct in them. They're kind of like
okay. The hounds have left and are after you.
Yeah.
Have you got any? Do you have any pets of your own? Have you got cats or anything?
No, nothing like that.
No. Not a goldfish.
I do actually love dogs. I've never had a dog, but I've always thought maybe one day I will get a dog.
I love dogs, and we just don't have the time for it. It's just there's a lot of we haven't got one. No, we got two cats.
Oh, right.
But I grew up with dogs, and I love dogs to pieces. But I know I haven't got the commitment to take them out for walks 3 times a day, and just the house isn't big enough with all my crap around the place.
With all your drum kit.
With all my drum kit and my art stuff and sewing stuff and cosplay stuff and lawless stuff and everything else going on. Yeah, cats much better. I can do cats.
Yeah, I've also got the problem that my fiance is allergic to dogs.
Oh, so, that's not good.
That's unfortunate. But I like dogs, just not the ones that chase me and bite my ankles, when I'm out.
So, is there anything that you found particularly difficult or easy with regards to your work in the last year or so? What have you found really hard about it, or what projects have you thought, oh God, why am I doing this? And
just more the practical side of things that's been a problem, because obviously with the big paintings I just was talking about a while ago, I tend to have to get those scanned high resolution on these massive printers that they have in these professional kind of shops,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I've only got the small kind of little scanner and all that kind of thing that you have under your desk.
Yeah.
So obviously A1 painting that's so big, I usually go into Leicester where I live and take them to a print shop, get them scanned, and then I'd send a file to the guy in New York. I've not been able to do that because they've been shut, been closed the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they'll even reopen. There's some doubt about the fact that they might actually have to close, which means some other way of getting that record cover scanned. So it's things like that I've more
logistics and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you call it logistics, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and materials as well, I suppose, and just you're constantly buying stuff online because there's no shops to go to and things like that, which is always fun.
Like the prints that I sell, you know, I have an Etsy shop where I sell prints of my artwork and things like that.
I was going to say you set up an Etsy shop recently, haven't you?
Yeah, that's a new.
How's that been going?
Yeah, well, it's okay. You know, pretty good response so far. It started, you know, like I thought it would, fairly slowly, but I'm hoping to build it up, and you know, gradually. I think I've got about 10 different prints on there at the moment, and I've kind of add a new one every week. So I'm sort of building up the kind of library of prints that I've got available.
Yeah.
So hopefully, when I've got a few more on there, it will start to really pay dividends. You know.
Are you only allowed to sell? You can't sell 2000 AD stuff. I take it on there. You haven't got. You need permission to do that. Is that right?
I think I'm okay with that. When I initially started doing the prints, I did get in touch with them and asked for their permission. Said was it okay? I do the, you know, limited edition prints, the dread and that, and they said yeah, that's fine as long as you only do up to a certain number.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I've got a bunch of stuff on there from different things, some of my own creations, obviously things like the 2000 AD characters, Dread, have you seen Warriors, Hammerstein, Mean Machine, those kind of things.
I saw those, yeah, they were really nice.
Always kind of go down well with the fans at conventions. And I'm hoping those will be the same people that would buy one online, you know.
Definitely, yeah. No, it does seem to be a growing market, definitely, to support artists. Yeah. Are there any other comic characters that you're sort of wanting to draw, or have you got your eye on that you fancy having a go at?
Oh, there's so many great ones.
Tank Girl.
No, that would be fun. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
I might have to get you to do me a Tank Girl.
Yeah, I love Tank Girl. In fact, I've got a poster from the movie, you know, which, you know, a lot of people didn't like, but I kind of enjoyed it myself.
I do, I'm a fan.
I've got a film poster in my studio on one of the walls.
Yeah.
That's in the room next door to where I am now. So yeah, big Tank Girl fan. Yeah, she'd be a good character. I like doing female characters. Yeah. Obviously, there's all the obvious ones that most artists probably would like to do one day, like Batman, those kind of things.
Yeah.
I've always had a hankering to do Batman. That would be nice. I like some of the movie stuff. Alien, that, you know, those kind.
You could do a good thing, actually. Noticing your poster in the background, you could do a good thing piece of art, I reckon.
Yeah, that print there's one of my favourites, isn't it great?
Yeah, it's cool, yeah. But I reckon, you could do a poster of the what is it, the spider creature that falls off the table. I reckon you could do a good one of that.
Yeah, the guy's head that comes off and falls down and then crawls along the floor. Yeah.
Proper creepy.
That's one of my favourite films. I love all those kind of dark sci-fi horror kind of genre movies. So a comic book, you know, like that, if someone came to me with a script and said, oh, you know, do you want to work on an Alien comic, I'd be all over it. Like
awesome. Good shout. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So have you got any recommendations for a binge-worthy TV show? Have you been watching or anything over in the last 12 months or listening to anything? Any good music?
Oh, so much music. There's so much great stuff. I've actually spent quite a lot of money on CDs. I'm one of those old school, as it says on the hat, guys that still like CDs, you know. You know, I bought quite a lot. In fact, I got a shock when I got them from under the bed. They're in a box, and I thought, wow, I've just bought all these in the last year.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I like
any good albums?
Discover a band from the past that I kind of missed at the time. I don't know if you're aware of a band called Sabotage.
No, I don't know.
Mid to late 80s, and they did some really fantastic albums. 3 in particular, one called Gutter Ballet. The first album that I liked by them was in the Hall of the Mountain King.
Yeah.
And they did a concept album, I think it was the third one, called Streets, which was almost like musical theatre.
Cool.
Brilliant. I mean, I didn't know about that band at the time in the 80s, even though I was really into metal back then as a kid, you know. They must have just completely passed me by for some reason.
That's literally my MO when it comes to music. I got into Van Halen like 30 years too late. I even saw them live at Wembley and they completely went over my head, and I was just like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. 20 years later, I'm like the biggest Van Halen fan ever. It was just like, oh, how did I miss this? But yeah, that's my MO when it comes to just, for most things actually, I get into everything really, really late because I think at the time,
That's cool. I think that's great, you know, and it's never too late, is it? You know, I mean, I'm a big Rush fan, but I only really got into them when I went to see them, and it was their 30th anniversary tour.
Oh, wow.
Before that, I'd never really paid them much notice, and
Yeah.
kind of went along with a friend, and I stood there thinking, okay, impress me then. What's this band all about? And then Neil Peart started playing his drums, and my jaw literally hit the floor. I could not believe it. I'd seen some amazing drummers in my time, in all the bands I've seen over the years, but he was on another level.
Yeah, to be fair,
I was so destroyed when I found out he passed away, because by then he was like my hero.
Oh, yeah. No, I admit I've never been. I know I have friends who are Rush fans, but I've never really been much of a fan myself. But I have a definite newfound respect for them for knowing more about drumming than I used to. Because that and Toto, my drum teacher's a Toto fan, and I wasn't into it at all. And then he got me listening, and I was like, actually, wow.
Yeah, there's some great stuff going on there. Yeah.
Yeah. I love stuff like that.
Neil Peart from Rush was that he wrote all the lyrics as well.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, which takes it again for me to another level of just genius, you know. His lyrics, some of them are just so sublime. They really are. You know, like poetry. It's like the best poetry.
No, there's some serious literature going there.
I was lucky that I did get to see Rush a number of times. You know,
that's really
last
cool.
10 years that they were going. So I feel like, I got my Peart fix seeing him live. You know, because there's no better place to see a drummer like that than in the arena with the lasers and the lights and the crowd. I mean, you know, records can't capture that quite the same.
It's not so great when you're 4'10" and you can't see anything.
Right. Okay,
so I don't tend to do gigs unless I know I'm going to get to the front and it's a small venue.
Or you can get a seat up in the kind of balcony and you're sure of view there, aren't you?
This is true. Yeah, we went to see Disturbed, and Papa Roach did a gig at Birmingham, and actually Papa Roach were better than Disturbed, and we were up in the sticks there. It was really, really cool. But you miss the crowd though. It's not quite the same because you don't have the crowd if you're in the sticks and in the seats. It doesn't make.
But just seeing live music, even if it's just a local band in your sort of local pub down the road, you know, the grassroots level, which is the sort of level that I'm playing at with the band I've got. You know, we're not playing.
You get an atmosphere. You definitely get an atmosphere.
There's something great about live music, and I really noticed how much I miss it this past year. Not being able to go just to see a band like that. Obviously, I enjoy playing live myself, but just to go and see another group and just fights and just
sitting there and
the
enjoy
vibe of it. Yeah, I really miss it. I'll be glad when we can do those things again.
Did you see much sort of live music at the theatre you did work at?
Well, there's usually a lot of music in the shows because where I work at Kerr, which is a big theatre, we do specialise in musical theatre quite a bit. So we do have shows. We had Phantom of the Opera there, which was amazing. You know, it's a really fabulous show, and the music's terrific. We have all the kind of big musicals that you'd expect, like Grease and, you know, Oliver and all those kind of things. You know, the really big productions, Miss Saigon, and we have a fantastic, huge stage. You know, for Miss Saigon, there was basically an actual size helicopter hanging above the stage.
Wow.
Insane, and just really impressive. So but I mean, they don't have bands playing there, as you know, they're not like a music venue as such. It is a traditional.
It is a theatre,
But I think once we had the show that was you know, the punk band Green Day.
Oh wow!
They did like a musical for American Idiot.
Yeah.
The band playing all the songs, and they were acting out scenes in between the numbers, and that was really good actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was quite loud and rocky, and that was.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. And then we have
I do miss going to the theatre. Can't go wrong with a bit of good theatre.
Yeah.
I went to sort of a really, really good production of A Clockwork Orange many, many years ago in London. And that was, and we had I think we were 2 rows away from the front, and I didn't know much about Clockwork Orange at all at the time, so it was my first kind of introduction into it, and it blew me away. You can't go wrong with just an amazing adaptation of a play done by a really good company.
Yeah, well, I enjoy working in the theatre. I meet a lot of really nice, interesting people.
Yes.
It's a lovely environment, you know.
You met anyone famous?
I have, I'm just thinking who's the most famous person I've met, and it probably is Jason Donovan, which is hilarious.
He's meant to be awesome though. He's meant to be such a lovely, lovely bloke, because when he does,
he was really nice, really polite, just such a lovely chap. You had to sort of like him, whatever you think of his musical career or whatever, or his acting. He was a lovely,
excellent,
so sort of down to earth. I meet people who are on TV and various soap operas, and a lot of EastEnders actors, you know, end up in some of the
doing theatre and stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, I've really come to appreciate it more working there.
Yeah, I bet you have.
I do enjoy it, and I find it helps me, because obviously when I'm doing the comic stuff, drawing comics, painting, all those things, I'm in a room on my own with the radio in the corner, which
very
is
isolating.
But I don't think I'd be happy if I was doing that and nothing else.
Yeah, you need the stimulation of other things going on, don't you? And
yeah, I like interaction with people. You know, it makes me feel alive and part of the race.
I've definitely noticed that as my conversation skills have definitely gone down the pan in the last 12 months.
Well, you're doing okay today, so
I'm not doing too bad. No, I've had a bit of practice, so it does help. Yeah, I talk to clients all day as part of my day job, so there is that. So, but yeah, the old Zoom calls with the family. I'm like, so I'm still working from home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of the things I do in the theatre is I lead tours around the venue and show a lot of school kids and a lot of students who are maybe at drama college or whatever. They come and we give them tours, and there's usually a group of between 20 and 25 kids maybe, and I stand and talk to them and explain about the workings of what goes on behind the scenes. And there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people
it isn't just about the actors on the stage. There's I didn't realise. I mean, I did theatre studies at A level, and the fact that I was never an actor. That was basically what theatre studies taught me, was I'm not an actor. But there wasn't. I didn't really get any option to go to doing the lighting or the sound or anything, or working on props and costumes and anything like that at all. It's a massive career choice in its own right, and that side of things. That
absolutely. And most of the ones I speak to where I work, they've sort of said the same thing you just said, that they maybe went to drama school to think if could they be an actor or a performer of some sort, and then realised it wasn't for them, but fell in love with everything else that goes on in the theatre. And
very
working
much
in
so.
audio or the lighting department or what are the technical teams, there's lots of different areas where you can be creative in a theatre.
Very much so. I think, had I known about cosplay about 20 years ago, that's probably where I would have gone into. Costume making and stuff. It turns out I'm quite good at that. I quite like.
That's probably a viable job these days, I would think.
What, cosplayer?
But not with obviously with conventions not really happening at the moment.
Yeah.
Much, but when it comes back again,
Oh, I miss seeing everyone's costumes at Lawless. Some of the inventive costumes that everyone comes up with at Lawless is just, I love it. So we were going to try and do, I think we're going to try and do it next year. We're going to do a cosplay competition next year and actually do a proper prize for it, I think, because people put in so much work to it.
Yeah, they get so into it and they put so much work into some of those outfits. It's stunning. Usually, obviously not at the moment, but usually do the Leicester Comic Con that they have every year. And they always have a competition for the cosplayers, and it's such a fun sort of like end to the event to kind of end it on that. Little toddlers coming up dressed as Spider-Man. They get their moment to go up on the stage and kind of like wave at the crowd, and everyone cheers, and it's just a real feel-good thing, it's nice.
Yeah, no, it really is. And it's interesting to see between the cosplayers as well, because you can see them all connecting over all the work they've put in and all the different techniques they've used, and you get some great conversations out of it as well as, how did you do that? I need to do that on mine, and that
I like
just the creativeness.
I realised that a lot of them maybe they sort of thought, well, I can't draw, so I can't draw a comic, and I can't write so well, wouldn't be able to write a script, but I can do this, and they can spend a long
get involved
time putting all their energy and creativity into a costume and then wear it and have fun wearing it. I think it's great. Everyone feels like they've got something to offer then.
It's very, very awesome. So what would have you got anything you'd cosplay as?
Now you've put me on the spot.
I know, just random question. There you go. I'm thinking on the spot now.
Well, I did the Batman once, but not too successful with my physique. I think you could get away with a judge. In all fairness, I reckon you could pull off the uniform. That might be fun. Yeah,
you could get away with that. I reckon.
I might get away with being the judge who gets shot in the background. To the right there, and on screen for about a second, maybe. Before my head.
I won a Nick Percival competition to be a dead judge in one of his comic strips.
Really?
Yeah, it was years ago actually. He did a Facebook competition of would you like to be a judge and I'll draw you in. So yeah, there's a 2000 AD strip where I get killed by zombies or something, and I'm right in the forefront of the panel, and you can see Hadrill on my badge and everything. It doesn't look like me. It's not my face or anything, but there's Hadrill on the badge, so it's Judge Hadrill gets killed in a panel on 2000.
That's brilliant. I know.
It's pretty cool.
We used to work together. Me and Nick Percival. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's on my list to chat to actually, and have a bit of a catch up with him as well. So see what he's been up. He's been doing lots of horror stuff recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, seems to.
With them.
Yeah, it definitely suits his style of work, I think. The dark side of things.
Again, it's he's got that kind of The Thing influence, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you like that? Have you got any influences? What are your influences, do you think?
Everything really, I suppose. The first thing I got into when I was young was the music.
Yeah.
I got into the punk scene at an early age, the Clash and all those kind of bands. And I was heavily involved in that. And I started to do like a punk fanzine with a friend. He would write all the articles. We would go and watch bands, we would interview them, and then we would do the fanzine, and I would do all the artwork. So that was where, I got to stretch my sort of legs as an artist, when I was probably like 11 or 12. Really quite
excellent. Wow.
So I used to like sit and look at the artwork on punk rock record sleeves and get inspired by that.
Yeah.
All skulls and robots and destruction and death,
Yeah.
All that kind of good stuff.
I was like that with Rodney Matthews was like that for me when I saw the album cover stuff. Rodney.
Fantastic.
Just seeing all the stuff he did, and it was just like, wow, that's awesome.
I had some of those books of his when I was younger growing up. I just stare at those pictures with so much like detail going.
Yes.
You'd kind of be pouring over
delve into them. Yeah.
All that stuff. Definitely was an influence. Derek Riggs, the guy who did all the Iron Maiden record covers.
Yeah.
He was another one that came a few years after the punk thing.
That was one of my first paintings, was an Iron Maiden one. No Prayer for the Dying. I did from a tape cover up onto my bedroom door. I did in acrylic. That was my first ever painting. It was an Iron Maiden cover.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. So, and that whole thing fed into 2000 AD, and I read that from day one. More because my older brother used to have it delivered to the house when it started.
Okay, yeah.
So I kind of get it, we'd be fighting over it, and he'd read it first, and then I'd get it, and then my younger brother would read it. The thing would be shredded by the time we'd finish. But, I sort of feel like I grew up with Dread, and that whole 2000 AD thing. I wasn't really aware of American comics till much later.
Yeah.
It was purely just all about 2000 AD. That was kind of it for me.
Excellent.
Growing up in my teens and into my early 20s and everything, never expected to end up doing some work for them. So
no, that's really good.
Nice. It's one of those things where you think, well, if I could go back in time to the me of being like 15 and show them what I'm doing now, what would I think?
Look at what I did.
Wow, my mind would be blown, I think.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to sort of wind this up a little bit now. So there was one other last question I had. Is there anything else that you wanted to promote, or any give a recommendation to, or a signal boost, or anything that I can post up some links to on the Lawless page that you like that I can promote for you?
Well, primarily the project that's taking up most of my time at the moment, the Homerick project.
Definitely, we'll give those a listen.
Yeah, the album's The Circle of Dead Children. Based on Dante's Inferno, but it's a modern take on it, and it'll be a concept record, also an art book, and also an audio book version.
Wow, excellent. Okay.
So if people want to check out Homerick, there's videos I can watch on YouTube. There's some of them on interviews with me where I go into depth about the artwork I've done.
Yeah.
And also, you get to see some of that stuff on there. And there's also a website. You can buy all the merchandise and all that kind of stuff
Fab. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely link up then. So you guys that watching can check it all out and everything. But thank you ever so much for coming to our creator catch up. Everyone do check out the rest of the Lawless YouTube page for all our other interviews and our live panels and everything. Don't forget to like and share, and head over onto the Lawless Comic Con website for our merchandise, or to donate to the creator bar tab, which I think we're going to have to do for next year's Lawless. So we're doing a bit of a GoFundMe. But thank you ever so much, Max, for coming along and chilling out with us today. I'm glad you've been keeping busy and you're doing okay. And hopefully we'll see you again in 2022 next year.
Definitely. Thank you, Sue. Really nice of you to invite me along.